Hi, I'm Wade with Crete Carrier. We're here today to talk about the 2018 Freightliner Cascadia. It's our new automatic version of the truck, and this is what we're getting for this year in 2017 for deliveries. So to start off here, we've got our key in the just by our left knee. We'll turn that on. We'll let the gauges do their business. They're doing a system check. There's a lot of system checks with the dash. Once everything stabilizes, we can go and start the truck. All right, so we're up and running. We're ready to start driving, actually. The main thing we want to check is our air gauges here. Make sure we have enough air to run the transmission. It needs to be at 100 psi or the transmission won't go into gear. So our gear selector is right here on the side of the column, and it's just a dial. We have drive, neutral, and reverse. It's in automatic already. We'll just dial the switch, and we're in drive. We're ready to go right now. We can release the brakes. And as soon as the brakes release, which takes a few seconds, we can take off. For reverse, we still foot on the brake. We put it in neutral, roll it back to reverse. There are several reverse gears, so in this case we're in reverse 1. We can go to reverse 2, and that's all it's going to let us do while we're parked. And we go back to neutral, apply our parking brake, and we're parked. So the 2018 Freightliner has adaptive cruise control. It's got a system set up so that the transmission will automatically predict where we're at in the road, what the terrain ahead up to about a mile is, and it'll accelerate as necessary to get in the right gear if we're going to climb a hill, for example. If we're going to crest that hill, it predicts that ahead of time because it's looking out a mile ahead of us. Predicts that hill so it slows down the amount of fuel given to the engine so that we don't crest the hill too hard. We get up to the top of the hill and it may even do what's called an E-coast a little bit as it crests the hill, where it's not really giving a lot of fuel, but it's not running the engine brake either. We'll crest the hill and then it'll engage the engine brake as it needs to and manage our speed down the hill so that we use the correct amount of fuel, we're in the right gear, we don't overrate our speed too much. Then as we get close to the bottom of the hill, it's automatically going to predict that we're near the bottom of the hill, and it's going to let us coast down that hill a little bit and then start engaging. It's going to go from engine braking into a smooth transition and an E-coast into applying fuel to the engine again to maintain our speed. This keeps us from using excess fuel, overrunning our speed, which we don't want to do, and also, running engine brake longer than we need to. Okay, that system only works if we're in cruise control, so we have to be in cruise control for that whole system to work. This will automatically watch us as we're going through a dip in the road. So it predicts a dip, it sees a dip in the road, it will let us coast to get a little bit, it'll speed us up a little bit down the slope to give us some momentum to come up the slope. So we'll make that dip in the road and we'll keep on going with a smooth transition. Okay, it's a great system, but again, only works if we're in cruise control, so that cruise control is important to us. So let's talk about the OptiIdol system on this truck. It's got a system set up so that the truck can maintain its batteries, maintain its own system, and maintain the temperature in the truck. Okay, it's a lot like your air conditioner or your heater at home. For the OptiIdol, that's the air conditioning piece of it. Okay, so the truck will automatically start up, get the temperature in here to where you set it, and then it will shut itself off to maintain that temperature. We'll look in the back in a moment, and there's a range we can set the temperature. So if you set it at 70 degrees, for example, you can set it to go up to 4 degrees higher than that, or you can set it to go to 7 degrees higher than that, or 10 degrees. So you could have it 70, it may get up to 74 before it turns on, or it could get up to 77 then turn on, or it could get up to 80 and turn itself on. But the system's set up just to maintain itself. For the heat system, that's an S-bar system, which is all in the back, and we'll take a look at that too. But to run the OptiIdol system, the truck's running, and we hit our cruise control button. Now we're parked, engine brakes applied, we're in neutral. We hit our cruise control button, and we'll see our idle management light start to flash. We'll go over here to our temperature controls. We'll turn it all the way to 8 on the temperature fan and turn the cold all the way to cold. In the back, this is the bunk area of the truck, of course. In the back here, to set our OptiIdol system, we're going to set this dial also to 8 and also to full cold mode. We go up here to our Detroit Diesel OptiIdol screen, Hit the mode to turn it on. We'll hit our down arrow to select our temperature. We're at 71. We'll hit our mode, and it flashes the 4, there's the 7, or the 10, and that gives us the range. We'll set it at 4. We'll click mode, and we can click mode through a couple of other screens here that don't mean anything to us. We'll see it says 95 degrees here, and we have the little snowflake. We want that snowflake to be flashing so that the air conditioning is running. That's all there is to it. When the temperature gets to where we want it in here, the truck will shut itself off. Then when the temperature gets to a point where it needs to kick itself on, the truck will start back up, run the air conditioner just like it is now, and cool us off till we're in that range again. So to turn our OptiIdol system off, once we're up in the morning, we're ready to go to work, we can just hit and hold this mode button, until the screen goes dark, and then we're all set. We also run an S-bar heater system to heat the truck in the winter time or in a cold climate. It's a pretty straightforward system. Our truck is parked, we're off, we're not running. We go back here, we hit the simple on button, and you can see that it says stopped. You can hit the button again, and it says enabled. A little green light comes on, and then we can set our temperature here for whichever we want, hotter or colder. That's all there is to our S-bar heat system. It's set until we turn it off. When we get ready to turn it off, we'll just hit that simple green button again. It should say stopped, the little red light on. The blue light may stay on for a little bit until it cools off, but if it says it's stopped, it's off. So this is the heat vent for the S-bar system. This is at the base of the bunk, right along the floor. This will be on the right-hand side if you're facing the bunk. I want to make sure that's clear of objects because it's going to blast the hot air out of that to heat this entire cab. So if you have something there, it will get hot. It could melt it. We don't want to set anything on fire, but we don't want to melt your gear either. So you want to keep that clear. A couple of things to look for when you get into your 2018 Freightliner Cascadia. Just above us here in the cabs are the like the books and the owner's manuals and so forth. Look for this card and this OptiIdol book. This is your guide for the OptiIdol, and this card can give you some hints and tips on using the transmission.